Hi, and welcome back to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, a knit and crochet who's free from ways of crafting led to the world of design. All the places you can find me will be listed right down below this video. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about my knitting, crochet, designs, yarn hauls, all that fun stuff. There's always new, exciting, crafty things to talk about, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those videos. This podcast episode 53, I think. We are Monday, May... I don't know. We're near the end of May. Coming to you about a week later from my last episode, and I don't have that much in terms of finished objects. I have a few things, so we'll just get right into that. So I kind of mentioned in my last episode how I was really into crochet and my knitting's kind of taken a hit. That kind of hasn't changed a lot. I've only been knitting on one project, which I will share about, but I do have a finished object that was super quick, and it kind of started spur of the moment. It is this little, like, I don't even know what to call it, like a small summer throw-on thing. I don't know. It is a raglan. I came up with the numbers myself. Just a little quick thing. This actually took one full skein of Yarn Bee ID in the Bluestone colorway. It's 142 grams of yarn. I took a little bit more, but I could have done the whole thing without. And then I did this little contrast of white. So the stitch pattern is really fun. This is the same stitch pattern I used in my tower cowl, which is one of my cowls for the Beyond the Double collection. And it's super fun. It's one of my favorite stitches. I did it on a really big hook. I did it on a 6mm hook, I believe. So the fabric with the stitch pattern is just super light and drapey. I just wanted something really simple that I could just throw on over like a shirt like this or a tank top and wear in the warmer months, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I kind of have a problem with raglans in terms of yoke depth and what I need for my armholes versus my bust. It's a problem I've had with sweater constructions, top-down raglan. So I came up with my own numbers, and I'm super happy with how it came out. As you can see, it's very cropped. So it's just really a simple piece to just throw over, like I said, a shirt like this or a tank top. And yeah, I really love it. I'm really pretty happy with how the increases turned out. And yet I kept the stitch pattern. It kind of just fell together, and I'm super proud of myself for doing it. And this was super quick. I think I got it done in like 2 days. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So that was a triumph. I think I'll definitely wear it, and I really like the idea of the pop of white. I don't know, like that kind of just occurred to me as I was finishing the blue, to just do that one row of single crochet around everything, and I really love how that looks. So that's a finished object that I did not intend to do at all at the start of the end of last podcast, but I'm really happy that I did that. So that is a finished object. And then another finished object that is super small, but exciting nonetheless, because I had this idea for a headband. I have this thing about headbands, or really just things in my hair in general, where things tend to be too tight and I get a headache from them. But my hair is at a stage where it's like I cut it really short and now it's kind of growing out a little bit and I can't do anything with it, yet it's constantly in my face. So I kind of came up with this headband. I wanted like a little, like, to have a tie, and so I kind of achieved that with this. This is Lion Brand's True Boo yarn, which I don't like, if I'm being honest. I don't like working with it. It's kind of cute. See, it's kind of what I was going for. This is Lion Brand's True Boo. It's 100% bamboo from rayon, or something like that. Rayon from bamboo. I don't remember. I don't have the tag. I don't enjoy working with it, either knitting or crocheting, if I'm being honest. It's super soft and it makes such a nice fabric, but it's just very splitty and just not my thing. But I am holding on to it, and some of it, I have some other colors of it too. They would make really sweet baby clothes, so I am holding on to that. I might do like a baby vertebrae in it with like a bigger needle so it doesn't split as much. So I'm holding on to it for that, but I did use a little bit for this headband. It is very, like, how to describe it, because it's such a thin yarn and I used a big hook. It kind of doesn't hold its shape that well, so I do want to make another one out of a worsted. And it's just really a sweet pattern, a cute little thing, little accessory. It keeps my hair out of my face, which is always a plus, because my hair and me, we don't get along all that well. But yeah, this took like 20 minutes maybe. I think I used one of these hooks that I have in front of me here. I think I used a 4.5, and this is like a fingering weight. So I mentioned in my last podcast that I got a new set of hooks and that the colors were similar but for different sizes, as you can see. So I used this one. This is the 4.5. This is a 5.5. So yeah, I have to put these away properly or I will mix them up in the worst possible moment. So that's another finished object, but super quick. And I do want to make another one out of a thicker yarn that will hold its shape a little bit better and won't stretch out on my head. So I'll put that yarn away in the drawer. And then I guess we can count these as finished objects. I did make some more squares for my Tunisian crochet project. I shared about that last week. I think I was making these dark blue ones or the light blue. I don't remember. But I'm doing this Tunisian crochet project with these minis from Knit Picks, the Brava minis, the rainbow pack. It's so much fun. I have to make, I think, 10 more before I'm halfway there. It's such a great way to learn Tunisian crochet. I've gotten so much faster, really gotten increases and decreases down, and they're super quick and super fun to make. So I'm making a bunch of these. I haven't been working on it too much this week because I did start another Tunisian crochet project, as you do. But I have this whole bag full of, I think I've made 14 squares so far, or 15 actually. But a lot of fun colors. I've just had them shoved in this bag. I think I'm gonna try and reach the halfway point and then maybe seam some of them together to see what I want to do, like block them and seam them, because I need to pin them out. I've been making this out of acrylic, but it is, when you make a corner to corner square, they kind of get a little bit out of shape. So I just need to give it a wet block and pin it out to make seaming easier. So I was working on those, as you can see. So I think we'll move right on into works in progress. I have been doing some projects, making some progress on things. I will say most of my time was spent on this new cast on, which, if I'm being honest, this project is what made me decide, okay, I'm getting Tunisian crochet hooks, I'm doing it. Tony of TLY Yarn Crafts, I talked about her last week. Follow her on Instagram. Her account is so pretty. She shares so many beautiful projects, including Tunisian crochet. She came out with a free pattern called the Mulberry Afghan, I believe. Mulberry blanket, something like that. It's a Tunisian crochet blanket and it's super pretty. She designed it out of Lion Brand yarn, one being a plain white and then a contrasting color being like their ombre line, where it goes through these different colors. It's so pretty. I nearly ordered a kit for it, if I'm being honest, because I was just so like, this is so pretty. But I did not order the kit. I decided I would use scraps. I'm using DK weight scraps to do this project. I have this contrasting color from Yarn Bee Sweet Delight in the toy elephant color. This is my contrast, this dark gray, because I originally wanted to do a dark gray contrast for my blanket using the minis, but I decided not to do that. I went with the cream, and I got this dark gray in DK, and I'm using these scraps of DK. I originally was going to use DK and fingering. These are some of my fingering scraps that aren't good for socks. These are mostly like 100% acrylic fingering skeins, and so they're just not good for socks. That's why they're separate. Oops, hitting things around. But I've worked some of them into the blanket, and the gauge with the Tunisian crochet hook does not match at all. So I took those out, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough, if we're being honest. Now, I was fretting about having too much and making it uneven, but now I think I have too little. But that's okay. It's a scrappy blanket. It can go on for a while. So these are what I have, and here's the project. Have some of it in the middle of a row so you'll be able to see. This is the stitch pattern. Is that not so cool? And it's so easy. It's just so cool. And this is how, it's just like a baby blanket length. When I'm working on it, it feels like it's so long, like it takes so long to do a row, but it's so pretty. I've kind of got the colors arranged in this. When I had those fingering weight skeins, it was really easy to see like the progression of like rainbow colors, like you know, I had red and blue and orange and stuff, but now that I've taken so many out, it's probably going to not be as coordinated. I'm still thinking I'll work through these reds and then do my best, but since it's going to be a long-term scrappy project now, I don't know how big a blanket I'm going to get out of all these. We'll see. It might be fine, who knows. But I haven't worked on this in a few days. You can kind of see where I took that fingering out, like this orange stripe was a fingering, and while the gauge itself looks okay in the middle of the work, the end you can tell went in a little bit, so that's what led to my decision to take those out. Also because it was really tight to work it with the hook, like pick up the bars to do the stitches. I haven't worked on it in a few days, just kind of I decided I needed to do other things too. I've been loving Tunisian crochet. It's been so much fun. The hook I'm using is a part of my We Crochet Radiant Tunisian crochet hook set, interchangeable. It is the I9, which is a 5.5, I think, if I'm reading the marking correctly. I think it's a 5.5 with DK. Super nice, super easy. I love it so much. I love this crochet hook set. I'm actually going to be having a review for this set coming out on my channel soon, so if you're not already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. It's so much fun. I love Tunisian crochet. I want to make so many things out of Tunisian crochet. It's just been a lot of fun. So I have all my scraps in this little plastic container so I can see them all laid out, so I can really pick which one I want. But yeah, I'm gonna put that on the floor. And my other crochet project is actually another quick one that it could be done if I just worked on it. I am making another one of this wrap that I shared last week, this granny square wrap. I haven't come up with a good name for it yet, but it is this super fun wrap using the granny stitch, and you get this pretty little center. I love this project so much, and I wanted to do one in not just a solid color. I wanted to do it in some colors so that you could really see the construction and just how pretty and bright it is. So I had some scraps of this yarn. This is Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton Solids. This one's the Iron Fog. This one is Overcast. And then I had these two minis, not minis, but leftovers from other projects, like purple and pink. So I used those up to make the center square. It's a little bit not as deep as this red one, but it's going to be longer, you know, tip to tip. And I think if I block it, I will get some more width out of it. I don't think I have any more scraps of this type laying around, this fingering weight. I could conceivably use a little bit of one of these colors to make it a bit deeper if I wanted, but I really want to get the wingspan to be longer than this one. And I think I used 80 grams for each wing of this one, and these skeins are 142 grams. I want to make it even, and I don't think I can do that if I use up some to make this deeper and get it to look cohesive. I don't know, I like the idea of like this is going to be the colorful center, and then one of these wings is going to be gray and one is going to be this dark color. I think it'll just be kind of interesting and a little bit pretty. But this is a super easy project, super fun. I just need to put the wings on, and I'm filming a complete tutorial to go with this pattern, so I'm super excited. This will be coming out in June. It's super fun and super light. You use this fingering weight cotton yarn with a big hook. The hook I'm using is a 5.5 millimeter, and it works up super fast, and it's really fun, enjoyable make. I find in the hotter months, you know, I do find myself crocheting a lot, which is what's happening now, and it's just really nice and satisfying to have this light, quick project in your hands. Rather than something heavier. So this has been fun. I do need to start finishing it so I can finish the pattern and get that going. But it's just been sitting in this project bag of mine. And that's been one whip. And then the last whip is a knitted work in progress that I don't think I started it last time. I think I started it pretty soon after that podcast. I'm actually filming a whole make-along with video with me for this project. It's in this project bag that I made years and years ago. And it is a summer knitted top. I wanted to call it something else, I don't know why. But I made up the design myself, you know, figuring out what I like and trying to make a knitted top for the summer months that I'm gonna wear and gonna like how I look. I've talked about this, that I've been really can't decide what it is I want to make and what it is I want to wear. I have to combine the two because I find myself wanting to make projects that are really fun to make, but I don't end up wearing them, and that doesn't make me happy because I have these beautiful finished objects that I don't feel comfortable wearing. So here's it is so far. I really like the construction. I did the back and then I picked up for the front and then joined it all in the round. I'm actually planning to I'm knitting the outside, but I plan to have the reverse stockinette side showing, which is something I don't typically do. I think purl side projects, they look really pretty, but it's just the wrong side to me. So I'll be sharing more about that project in that video series, so keep a lookout for that when it comes out. That is everything I have to talk about in this podcast. If you could take a comment down below something you were working on, I would love to hear about it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and happy crafting!